Hello there, Cliff here in my shed. It's New Year's Day 2019 and I've spent most of the morning watching YouTube actually. Robert Zanudu got a new video out, so I watched that, and in that he give a shout out to a bloke called Alan who's got a YouTube channel called Retro Steam Tech. I'll try and put a link into it in my thing if I know how. If not, I'll try and write it up on here somewhere. It's well worth a look. He's well into steam engines and things. I ended up watching a few of his videos. Spent a bit too long sitting about having a cup of tea, watching him playing with his steam engines, which was quite interesting. Certainly made me want to make a boiler for the steam engine I made at school. One day I will get round to it. But the reason I'm up my shed today is to play with a new toy I've got. Let me show you. So this is it. This is my latest toy. I bought this second hand. I don't think it had ever been used. I think they had just put it together to see if it worked. It is a 3018, and basically that means you've got a 30 centimetre by 18 centimetre table that you can work on, and it's a little CNC, I don't know what you call it, milling machine, engrave. It's not a milling machine really, but it's an engraver, and it's got a Z axis, goes up and down everywhere. And I wanted to get hold of one of these because I know nothing at all about CNC machining. I've watched quite a few videos on it and it's something I really would like to know more about. So I bought this little chap just to try and have a go at it, just to learn about it, and at the same time I'm also trying to learn Fusion 360, so it's a bit of a steep learning curve for me. I've had this a little while now and played with it, but what I wanted to get done, certainly over this New Year bit of a break, this travels, the table, the X-axis just travels backwards and forwards like this. The Y-axis runs on this screw here, the whole head just comes across there, and the Z-axis obviously goes up and down like that. But it's got no stops on it, so because I'm not very good at this, I have tried to send this out the door a few times. And I don't know if you've ever watched this old Tony. He builds a fantastic CNC machine in one of his videos. There's a couple of parts to it, and he says in his video that CNC machines are just stupid machines. They'll only do what you tell them to do. And in my case, this is a stupid machine being operated by a stupid person. So if I try to tell it to go out the door, it tries to go out the door. So what I'm doing, I bought these little micro switches so that I can put stops on. These basically operate, and if it gets up to its limits it will stop. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. I've already put one on the Z-axis. So here's a look at the one on the Z-axis. They're just the switches that these go to are normally open, so when this comes up, so it's down there like that, and I want to send it up through the roof, it will come up, operate that switch, and then that will switch it off and stop it. Keep trying to come up and try and bugger up the motors and the screws. So the way I'm fitting them to the Y-axis, this is the actual Y-axis going backwards and forwards like that. Now you've got these things that hold the you've got these bars, and you've got they run in little runners underneath the table. So I've took one of them off. I've already done one on the back, because obviously you've got to have one both ends. So I'm just drilling a little 2.5mm hole, threading it for 3mm, and then screwing one of these on. Then I'll wire it up and run the wire around there some way. And then I've got to figure out a way to do the X-axis. Got to figure out some way of putting them here and here or somewhere so that this will stop them. And just a little 3mm tactile there. So I may need some adjustment on these, but I figured I can probably just move this slightly in and out like that. It will still operate it when the leg of that thing comes up and touches it. I'll just put that in there tight for a minute. Alright, and this just fits back onto here. Bollocks. Oh. So basically what that's doing, I'll see if I can get a close up for you. So here's the little micro switch. So the table just about clears it. And that comes up, and that guide for that runner operates it. So all I've got to do now is wire them up and plug them into where they have to plug into the board, and then do something about the X-axis. So there's the one on the back, and then they have to come up and go onto a couple of pins on this board. Right, I'll solder the wires on them now, and the little tiny little plugs you've got to solder on them. Right, so this is the plugs wired up. I hope I've left enough to get down here and round there. So if I spin this round now, so I'll make some little clippy clampy things or something to hold them in there. And then what they do, I don't know how clear this is going to be. I'll see if I can get a good close-up shot of it for you. Alright, so that's about as close as I can get it before it won't go out of focus. This one I've already put in, that's the Z axis. There's only one of them because it only has to stop it going up. Got no idea what this one's for. Then the next two are the Y, next two are the X. So I just got to connect these up. I'll tell you, these little plugs here are fiddly bastards to do. There it goes on there. This is the one from the front one. He goes on next to him, if I can get it on. So that's them two done. Now I've got to do the same with the X-axis. I've got to figure out how to mount the what's names yet, the actual little micro switches. It's actually turned out a bit easier than I thought it was going to mount these. I can actually mount them up here on this platform just here, on this bracket that holds this other bar in. I've done the other end. I've just got to drill and tap this. I have to move this bar out of the way. There you go, that's that one on. Now all I've got to do is go and put some wire on them and stick them on the board. Right, it's now the 2nd of January. I managed to get them wired up. I've got them screwed back on, and I've got them all plugged in at the back there. I don't know how clear that's coming out. Anyway, I've got my wife's computer up here. I'm going to just tidy this up a bit and then give it a go, see if it works. Right, so as you can see, I'm out of my shed now. I brought it down into the house. Bulb popped when I was last pissing about with this. I had to piss about getting the actual bulb, the bit that was left out of the holder, because it actually blew the bulb up. I mean, it's a bit of a pain, because if a bulb goes up there, even if they don't blow up like that one did, it trips the lighting circuit, which can be a bit of a pain in the arse. Because of the thieving bastards around here, I've got all the windows boarded up in there, so I've got no natural light in there, so even if during the day a bulb goes, it trips the fuse and you're in pitch black. But it doesn't trip the plug circuit, so I could be on the lathe and a bulb will pop and it'll knock the lights out. But I did put an emergency light in there. I think I got it from Toolstation. It was about 15 or 19 quid. Bloody brilliant. You just wire it into the lighting circuit, and then when the bulbs do pop, it gives you enough light to see what's going on, at least switch your machine off or whatever. Anyway, that's got nothing to do with this. So I've moved it down here, I've got it on the computer. You do have to make some alterations onto the Gerbil, onto the actual program, but this isn't a tutorial, this is just me messing about with it. If you want to do this for yourself, you'll Google a better, or look on YouTube and get a better tutorial how to do it. That's what I did, and it tells you the settings to put on everything. It's part of the frustration of doing this. I mean, I can do this a bit parrot fashion, like just fitting the switches and doing the programming, but I don't really know why any of this does anything, and I would like to, so it's something I'm going to hopefully look into a bit deeper. Anyway, do they work? So these are the buttons for moving the table and that about. So if I just if I move the table, I'll just operate the switch manually, and I'll show you it working. And that's it. As soon as the switch gets hit by the table underneath, it will stop it. which is an handy thing. Like I say, if you're trying to send it out the door, it will stop your motors trying to burn themselves out and bugger your screws up and things. But the more important part of it is when you've got these limit switches in, it allows you to home the cutter head. So this button here is for homing, and it will put it back in the same place every time, which if you're trying to do something and you want to do more than one operation on it, having this homing button is pretty good. So let me just reset it. And now it's going through the homing process. And that's it. So it comes back to that point every time you home it to that button, which is half the reason I'll put these limit switches on. Anyway, that's it. I just thought some of you might be interested in seeing that. I know nothing about it, like I say, this ain't a tutorial. And if there is anyone out there who can point me in the direction of learning a bit more about the Gerbil program and how to use one of these and how to connect a laser up to it, I would appreciate it, because I really do know nothing about this. I do intend to learn as much as I can about it, but what I want to learn and what my brain's capable of learning might be two different things. But that's it for this one. Don't forget to give Retro Steam Tech a look. I went to a booth here this morning. In the next video I'll show you some of the bits I bought there. That was handy. And I'm going to go out to the shed now and have another look at that slow speed grinder, see if I can improve that a bit. And that'll be in the next video. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.